Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 164 of CONSERVATISH. My name is Peter Edgar Feliciano. Make sure you find me on social media on Instagram at Peter_Feliciano, on TikTok at CONSERVATISH, on Patreon if you want to help out, patreon.com/conservatish, and Venmo at Peter-Feliciano, Feliciano. Wherever you're listening, make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a review, make sure you rate this podcast, and especially if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the bell. I don't know if anyone has been paying attention to the news, but there's been some crazy shit going on in the world of identity politics, and I think it's time that we consider it. So I said on the last episodes, I've had a few fucking great conversations with some awesome people recently, one of them being Dr. Shelby Steele, the black conservative author and activist. He grew up in he worked for the civil rights in the 60s and in the 70s. Like he grew up in a segregated classroom. He was a legit ass motherfucker, and that didn't change. But the left continued to move more left and continued to move more towards identity politics instead of away from, which is what the whole point of the civil rights movement is for equality. And I also had a lovely conversation with Kay Cassels, Viente, and that was episode 163. So this is... I've had some great conversations recently, and one of the things I said on the last episode is I will never let you white liberals forget what you said after George Floyd was killed, and the things after that, and I stand by that. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm never going to forget that you said that white people don't get to have a say. Is the words that you said. You said white people don't get to have a say. It's so simple. Just listen to black people. And so I have provided black people's voice. I have provided Latin people's voice. I have provided gay people's voice. Right? The thing is that if you identity politicians keep, I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know if the thing is that if you motherfuckers keep saying things and believing that all black people think the same, I hope you see now you're a racist piece of shit. I hope you see that from the bottom of my heart. I mean that. And I know that the people I saw saying that type of shit are smart, kind people outside of their political ideas. I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're evil. I don't even think they're stupid. But I think that white guilt is one of the worst machinations. It's one of the worst things to ever happen to us. White guilt is one of the worst things to ever happen to us, and it must fucking end. If you want legit ass equality, then that means you have to also see black people as humans. Black skin doesn't equal correctness. Black experience doesn't mean that their perception of their experience is true, right? And that also means you're going to need to understand that black people can be spiritually fucking sick. That means trans people can be spiritually fucking sick. Now, what do I mean by spiritually fucking sick? I mean stuck in resentment. Saw a little post earlier today that said socialism is built on the idea of resentment. It's never done. It's never done. And that's a fucking legit ass idea. The idea that I'm going to equalize everything. It doesn't really mean that. I was thinking about it too. These people who are really like upset that America first, they think America first means xenophobia, means bigotry, means no. It just means, hey, we want our shit too, motherfucker. And I think the problem that's built into a lot of the feminism, a lot of the feminine ideas, because let's be real, if you're a white liberal listening right now, even if you have a dick and balls, you're kind of a bitch. Let's be real. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't want to spike my... I keep thinking... I'm trying to record the right way. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. But one of the things that bothers me, and I know I've ranted about it before, but I don't care. Suck my dick. Start your own show. Is this idea that every sex scene... I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but every sex scene that's ever on TV is either... the girl getting fucked from behind, and she's kind of like you see her perspective and she's kind of like bored, or she's like trying to get into it, but she can't. And the guy's just like, or she's on top and like, he's just like, at best, his hands are on her hips. Like at best. Also, but more often than not, she's putting his hands above his head like, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. And the reason why that is because white liberals are the ones who are writing this shit. Bitches, fags, whatever you want to call them, wimps are the ones who are writing these sex scenes. That's why they're never like legit ass. Anytime there's BDSM, it's always the guy getting the fucking heel in his balls. Listen, if that's what you're legit ass into, hooray for you. Do you, boo? If that's where your bones, where your body, you were just born with the need to be pegged, good, go for it. But if you're just dishonest with yourself, suck my dick, dude. If you're just dishonest with yourself and you're just fine with leaving all these women out high and dry, like if you're just fine with not satisfying women sexually, then fuck you. Women don't want, like, sometimes, yeah, I'm not saying women never want to be on top or should never be on top. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the hands above the head. I'm saying the girl taking charge. I'm taking charge. I'm bored, but I'm taking charge. Bitch. Guys, that's feminine movement. That's feminine energy. So feminine energy is also what's building this idea of identity politics. See, it's resentment at daddy. And you just fill in any authority into daddy. And you're going to throw all of your resentment at daddy. I know you don't know that that's what it is, but that's really what it is. You're angry and you haven't processed your fucking anger at your goddamn childhood. And so now because you haven't done the fucking work to heal, you're going to make us all pay. And now because you haven't done the work to heal, that means we're going to shut down the system. And I know I'm not talking to all liberals. I'm aware of that. I know that the majority of you are doing what you think is right, and God bless you. Okay, there are a lot of dumbass Republicans and a lot of dumbass conservatives and a lot of dumbass everywhere. But I like to get into the psychology of it because I know motherfuckers, and I know that as far as men go, the most dangerous men in the world are the ones who are not masculine. The most dangerous men in the world are the dishonest ones. Dishonest with themselves. Dishonest with themselves. Dishonest with themselves about what they want and who they are, the animal that they are. Right? And you think that just stays in the bedroom? No. No, that goes everywhere. That applies to every single aspect of life. I was having a conversation with a friend a few months ago where he literally was saying to me, and he doesn't know my politics, and you know I was kind of his helper or whatever, and he literally was telling me that he thinks that he may need to join the Civil War, like be on the front lines of Civil War. That he's so angry with Trump supporters that he's been fantasizing about killing them. This is a guy who's been pretty spiritually sick for a long time. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't exist on the other side, but anytime that happens, they think they're heroes. They think that they have good intentions, but really they have misplaced anger, misplaced resentment. So that's why they're mad at any authority figure. That's why they're mad at big old daddy. And guess what? Guess who's representing that? Dum-dum Trump. Trump represents big mean daddy, and I'm going to get back at him, and he shouldn't have, and he didn't, blah, blah, blah. So no matter what logic you're coming at these motherfuckers, it's going to be feeling. My dad will not get away with abusing me. I don't want him to, Baba. I don't want him to. But the way to cleanse yourself is not to fucking tear down the system. The way to cleanse yourself is not to join the fucking Civil War. The way to cleanse yourself is not to literally shut down free speech. The way to cleanse yourself is to work on your fucking self, faggot ass motherfucker. Listen, I know sometimes the best way to come at and combat a lot of this stuff is with love, is with understanding. Okay? It's important for us to understand each other, for us to seek to be loving, you know, for us to reach out and be like, I know you feel a lot. I'm here for you. We're here for you. We can offer the help. But sometimes, I'm just going to say it, sack the fuck up and do your goddamn work. Sack the fuck up. Oh, I don't want to be vulnerable. Boo-hoo. Nobody wants to be fucking vulnerable. I don't want to be fucking vulnerable. I don't want to process my shit. I don't want to fucking, almost every time, not every time, but almost every time after my meditation, I do stretches. And my brain today was like, okay, I'm going to do stretches. But the whole time I'm meditating, I'm thinking about like, oh, I wish I just want to get right back to Facebook. Something that doesn't fucking matter. Talking to people who I don't fucking care about. I just want to get back to posting things. You know, I'm late on my career. I'm late on this podcast. My brain is just talk. I don't want to spend the time taking care of myself. Sack the fuck up. Sometimes we need loving, comforting, welcoming energy, and sometimes we need to have a little ball check. A, do your fucking therapy. A, forgive your fucking dad and stop projecting all that dad anger at all these other motherfuckers. Trump's not your dad, dum-dum. I saw it the other day. Some guy was like, he's just a regular old bully, just like all bullies in school. And the bullies and the bullies and the bullies. Still mad? You're in your 30s, Papa. You're still mad about the bullies in high school and you're in your 30s? Trump's not the bully at school. Trump's not the uncle who touched your butthole. Trump's not your dad. Trump's not whatever authority that disappointed you or hurt you in your life. Sack up and do the goddamn work. Is it possible that the people you disagree with have just done more research than you? That they're not just lemmings? I love how, by the way, let me take a sip of my hint water. I love how, by the way, because there's been such a groundswell of non-white Trump support, there's been an intense amount of people. And so what has happened then is now the argument has shifted. It's been great to see. It's because for years, and obviously especially close to the election, a lot of you motherfuckers were like, white people don't get to have a say, and just listen to white people, and of course, racist. And then black Trump supporter, over and over and over. There was just a huge, by the goddamn way, there was a huge rally, Jews for Trump yesterday in Brooklyn. They stopped traffic on the Brooklyn Bridge. Went into Brooklyn and started dancing to their weird European. Why do Europeans like house music so much? What the fuck is wrong with you guys? It's not the goddamn 90s. Anyway. There's a guy, but there was a huge bunch of Jews out there, motherfucking, just caravanning all across Brooklyn and eventually ended up in Marine Park and also in Times Square. And there was some Antifa and some black bloc kids, white kids, surprise, standing up against the Jews. Can you still say that you're standing up for marginalized? Can you fucking still say it? Can you still say it with all these black Trump supporters, all these gay Trump supporters, all these Jews? Now you're still speaking up for them? Suck my dick, you white cunt. No. What was I saying? Oh, I love how the argument has shifted. So the argument used to be like, "Oh, we're standing up, and these any Trump supporters are racist." And then you show this, and they're saying, "Well, even dumb Charlemagne the God." By the way, fuck Charlemagne the God. Who gives a shit what he fucking thinks? Oh, he's got a show on Sirius XM. Toodaloo. The View has a fucking show. Why is Charlemagne the God all of a sudden like somebody we should listen to? Just because he got black skin, he's got a fucking big show? Suck my dick, Charlemagne the God. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. Just because you're rich and you've got fucking influence, that means you've done your fucking research? Suck my dick, motherfucker. Even he was like, well, he even acquiesced and said, well, there are a lot of black men who are vocal about Trump because they're being reached out to. Because they feel disenfranchised and they're being reached out to. They're being courted by the Trump administration. But then at the end of that statement, he still said, well, but I can't vote for xenophobia and racism. I've literally dismantled for you a lot of examples of Trump's racism. Why are you still thinking that? Is it maybe because you haven't done the spiritual work to get over your resentments at authority? Maybe. Anyway, yeah. So that it went from Trump's racist to anybody who supports him is racist to anybody who supports him doesn't mind racism. Is it possible, at the very least? Now, I won't even say that they've done more research than you, although that is probably the case. Is it possible that they're in their bubble of information and you are in your bubble of information, and that's why the twain aren't meeting? That's why there's a disconnect there. Because we're seeing our information and making decisions, and you are seeing your information and making decisions. Is that possible? But no, these people just don't mind racism. Come on, dude. I mean, listen, Republicans, conservatives, I'm going to say the same fucking thing. Some of you dum-dums are saying some off-the-wall shit, too. Some of you conservatives, I'm going to take conservatives to task. Yay, finally. I hear you. I hear you, good girl. I hear you, fucking Benjo. I'm going to take conservatives to task. Some things Biden has said are definitely racist. But some things are just being taken out of context. Uh-oh. Here's the thing. Remember when we said principles before person? Well, I've said because I'm the fucking man. Remember when I've said over and over, if you don't believe in the principle over the personality, then you don't actually believe in the principle? There's a knee-jerk, see, he said it too. See, he said dumb things out of context. Yes, he has. But so is Trump, if you take some of those things out of context. Let's make sure we defend context, not be flippant. I'm not saying don't use Biden's gaffes the only thing we don't do is put is hang motherfuckers for jaywalking. Yeah, that's a legit. I mean, obviously he's being hyperbolic, but sure, okay. If the actual crime bill, shoot it down, whatever, attach, because he did actually write that shit. He did actually defend that shit and put that shit out there, right? And the consequences were many black men were arrested and held for shit that wasn't, you know what I mean? But let's keep context pure here, okay? Some things Biden has said, I don't think are actually racist. I wouldn't even necessarily call him all that racist. I think he's dumb. I think he's a fucking lion-ass piece of shit. I think he's just a puppet. I think he's, I don't think he's a fucking, like some of the conservatives have said, if you don't, some of the conservatives have said things like, I wouldn't say all liberals are pedophiles, but if they're voting for Biden, then that means they don't mind pedophilia. Like, calm down. You're saying 50% of the country, just like I would say to the liberals over and over, you're saying 50% of the country or more is racist? Come on. 50% of the country doesn't mind pedophilia. Stop. But some things out of context look real bad to Joe Biden. But let's not let context be destroyed just because it serves our purpose. If you want to say, hey, dumb Biden said, what was one he said? What's a good example of this? I don't know the racial jungle one. The you ain't black one is pretty bad. God damn it. I know there's like one or two. I can't think of them right now. But if you want to say, okay, Biden said something that seems racist, out of context, it could get him in trouble. If you want to say, hey, cocksucker hey, liberal who's taking Trump's words out of context, look what I could do the same thing. So neither one are actually evil. Fine. Conservatives, if you want to do that and say, hey, cocksucker who's taking Trump's words out of context, here's me taking something Biden said out of context. So fuck you and throwing it in the face. Rock and roll. But don't just go, I'm offended by Biden saying something if it's actually legit. if understanding context. Like some things he said, he's just stupid. Or he's just losing it. That's the context. Like what did Biden say the other day? He said, we're in the middle of the biggest voter fraud system. He didn't actually mean, he didn't actually mean that they're trying to, or at least even if they are, he didn't mean to say it there, that they're building a voter fraud system. He's just losing his shit. So if you want to hold that up as Biden is losing his shit, rock and roll. But don't go like, see, he admitted it. If you know that he's just, the context there is he's a dum-dum and he's losing his shit. Because here's the thing. The more we build this idea of saying fuck context, regardless of the sides, it will eventually eat all of us. I have said, holy Lord, I've said the worst things that one can say. Not just racially, but fucking sexually. Good God, I've made the worst jokes possible on this show, right? But the context is I'm having a conversation, or I'm making a joke, or I'm just questioning an idea, or I'm dissecting an idea, right? That's context. I don't want me to be taken out of context, so I can't, if I'm going to actually live by certain principles, if I actually believe in the principle of context and understanding, then I just can't turn around right away and just do that because it serves me. You know what I mean? I have to try and put principles before personalities. So some of you motherfucking conservatives need to calm down with that shit. But I'm super voting Trump, yeah. So yeah, there was a big old Jew. Big old Jews for Trump rally yesterday in BK, and maybe I'll post some videos. And listen, by the way, I'm gonna have a sit down with you cocksuckers, because I know that the people who listen to episodes that are just by myself are probably the ones who are like legit ass fans. So I'm gonna have a conversation with you. I understand that I have changed. That the show has changed a little bit. I understand that back in the day, I mean, the whole name of the show is Conservatish, so obviously there's going to be a lot of episodes that have conservatives in it. But I used to have a lot more, I would say, diverse clientele, diverse motherfuckers on the show. And I still do. I mean, the closest one I can think of, besides, and episodes where I didn't talk about politics. I still want that. I don't ever want to be like a Ben Shapiro or a Steven Crowder. But yes, I'm really passionate about this shit. And that's number one. Number two, we're ramping up to an election, so of course there's going to be a lot more like election-y type of shit. Number three, suck my dick. It's my show. Do it. Start your own. And number four, some of you cocksuckers don't understand what it's like to have a show, what it's like to have a public voice. Because you have your life and you've decided not to put on a podcast, and you've decided not to put out music, and you've decided not to create art and risk, and now you want to fucking shit on me because you don't like the way I'm doing it. Remember when I had Ray Tilton on my show? We didn't talk about politics once. You know why? Partially because I know he and I don't see eye to eye on that shit, and it would be fruitless to get into it. And number two, because he's so fucking interesting and I love him with all of my heart that I don't care about his politics. I don't care. I want to talk to him about his experience. Ray Tilton, Daddy Ray, is one of my favorite fucking episodes. He's one of my favorite fucking people. And on YouTube, that episode got 35 views. It's been like 4 months since it's been out, and it got 35 views. So if you want to shit on me for like, oh, you've changed and you only focus on politics. If you haven't watched the Ray Tilton episode, eat my dick. Eat my fucking dick. When I put out shit that is not political, because it genuinely interests me. It wasn't a calculated move like, okay, I'll give these motherfuckers a break. It was a genuine conversation with someone who I'm genuinely interested, who I love to death. But you didn't watch it. So I'm going to keep doing whatever the fuck I want. ¿Entiendes? The Jews. So it was a big old Jewish rally, and a black cocksucker, skinny white kid, of course. There were a couple of punches, it was funny to watch the coverage too, because I wanted to talk about that on this. But there was a little bit of violence. A couple of fist fights. I think 7 people were arrested, 5 men, 2 women, and you can see it on the videos. The guys who are throwing punches, the people who are throwing punches, the 2 that I saw on video, it wasn't the Jews. It wasn't the Trump supporters. One was a skinny white, I think, might have been Latin, female, and one was a skinny white kid, a male. The left threw the punches. The left were the one who were taunting. And there's another thing. I've watched a couple now. One of them was, I believe, not a senator. Somebody was running for Congress. A blue checkmark motherfucker. Because obviously that's important. Somebody running for Congress actually literally said, hey, when Trump loses, when Biden wins, let's find out. We need to have a sit-down conversation and find out who these Trump voters are. So let's follow that idea along. Let's follow that idea along. This is a white congressman who wants to hunt down and figure out who these Trump voters are. And I have now showed you, besides all the fucking thousands of motherfuckers, look, God damn it. Do your fucking research. There have been rally after rally after rally. Nigga, in goddamn fucking, in Newport Beach, California, in San Fran fucking Cisco, in Beverly fucking Hills, 3 big old liberal fucking cities, there have been hundreds, and then sometimes, I think it was hundreds probably only, down 19th Avenue in San Francisco, but there have been thousands showing up to Newport Beach, to Beverly Hills, to these California liberal-ass motherfucking cities of Trump supporters, with signs like Latinos for Trump and Filipinos for Trump and blacks for Trump, tons of people of color, tons of Jews, and you want to hunt them down. Sorpresita. Really? A white person hunting down blacks and Jews? I just love how it turns on you, and it makes me happy. It makes me happy that you don't, that it makes me happy when you actually become the enemy that you think you're fighting against. It makes me happy. It makes me happy. It gives me joy in my belly. I mean, I'm sorry I'm so unshaven, by the way. Good Lord. Oh, I've lost 46 pounds, by the way. Since March, I've lost 46 pounds. feeling really good about my body, feeling really good about my spirit, feeling really good about school, feeling really good about all kinds of shit. It's life is really, 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 really good right now. And I know we're ramping up to the election, so I'll finish the episode with this. Here's the deal. If you're taking politics so seriously that you're going to get violent after the election, a couple of things. Actually, first let me say this. To my liberal friends, please, regardless of which way the election goes, I mean, it'll be safer for you if Trump loses, but regardless of which way the election goes, do not go to protests, just for the first couple weeks at least. Please, please, you know it's going to get violent, especially if Trump wins. Please do not go. Please, just stay the fuck home. Even if Trump loses, just stay the fuck home for a couple of weeks. Let the vitriol, let the violence happen. Okay? Let it turn you, towards a Trump supporter like it does with millions of others. But do not go to fucking protests. If you're a liberal friend of mine, please, please, please don't. Yes, almost all of the people at those protests would be peaceful people. But mob does what mob wants. You don't get a say in mob. Nobody gets a say in mob. When mob takes over, mob does what mob fucking wants. Stay the fuck home, even if you didn't get your way. Stay the fuck home, just for the first few weeks. Let the shit kind of calm down a little bit, okay? And then if you want to protest with your pussy hat and your blah, 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 rock and roll. Have an exit plan, have water, and whatever. But Jesus fucking Christ, do not go to protests for the first few weeks. Please. Second thing. I'm a conservative man, conservatish, whatever. If Trump loses this election, I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna move because I'm not a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to throw a fucking tantrum like I'm a goddamn child. I'm 34 motherfucking years old. If I really, I really believe giving the keys and giving more money and giving more power to cocksucking ass communists, they literally said they're communists. Black Lives Matter. They literally said they're fucking trained Marxists. And Biden and Kamala are like, I'm so sorry, Black Lives Matter. Whatever you want to say, Black Lives Matter. I'm just an evil white. So you know who has them by the fucking ear. I'm not going to throw a fucking tantrum if my side loses. I'm going to be fucking annoyed. I'm going to be upset. And I'm also going to be real goddamn interested in making sure that there's also correct audits to make sure that your side didn't fucking cheat. Because listen, fuck polls. I'm watching thousands of motherfuckers at all of these Trump rallies across the fucking nation, and I'm watching 20 niggas and 20 white niggas in a fucking parking lot for not just Biden, for goddamn Obama. Sweet Jesus did everything for us. Obama got 20 motherfucking. I mean, come on. Come on. You're saying that the only reason why there's no motherfucking people at Biden's rallies is because they're all afraid of COVID? Shut. So, I'm not going to throw a tantrum. I'm going to be annoyed. I'm going to really make sure and want to make sure that shit was done legit. But you know what? If it was a legit ass election and the other side wins, okay. All right. Okay. And I'm going to keep doing my show, and I'm going to keep speaking out, and I'm going to keep posting shit that annoys people, and I'm going to keep shooting down identity politics and hopefully really just hold. You know what? If I could do, not any one human being, But what I want to do to identity politics is what fucking Shigar did in Shigar did in No Country for Old Men. I want to actually no, that's not true because he didn't actually get to see his face when he was choking it. I want to watch identity politics face while I'm suffocating the life out of it. Did your pussy get wet right now? Sub bitch. But I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. I'm going to keep doing what's best for me and best for my career. By the way, there's a music album, there's an album that's out, and another song from the album is going to be made into a video. So I'm going to have a video out end of January, maybe beginning of February, but most likely end of January. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to keep doing what I need to do, but I'm not going to throw a tantrum, and I'm not going to move, and I'm not going to whatever, because that's what children do. Also, if your side loses again, sit back. I mean, you could be angry, whatever, but sit back and look at the numbers. If it was a legit election and everything's verified, and you see that 51% of the country again voted suck my dick to Democrats, sit back and take account of yourself, of do the healing you need to do, take account of your perception, take account of your social media bubble. We all have bubbles. Take account of it and think for yourself. Start doing your own research. I know that this Trump motherfucker is just racist and xenophobic and sexist and transphobic and blah, 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 blah. He literally said he grabs women. No, he didn't, bitch. Anyway, if you think all these things and yet your side still lost, instead of going 50% of the country is transphobic, xenophobic, hates Muslims, instead of doing all that shit, sit down and take account of your social media bubble. It's not just one issue, okay? And it's not about personality. It's about principle and it's about policy, okay? Take account of your life. Take account of your perceptions. I posted some shit on Facebook, some bitch some Puerto Rican in the Bronx going, fucking Trump, baby, woo, wepa, economia, puntaza, or whatever the fuck she was saying. And some random Puerto Rican bitch was like, she said lemming. That's all you got to say? If the bitch was white, you would have said racist, but because she's Boricua, you're like lemming. What about, is it possible that if your side loses, that the other side just has a different point of view, is getting different information? Okay. Anyway, wherever you're listening, make sure you subscribe, share this with your less offendable friends, and watch every fucking episode, or I'll find you and I'll murder you. I'll literally, you know what I'll do? If you don't watch every single episode, I'll put my hand on the bottom of your jaw and I'll pull it. I'll just look deep in your eyes. I might have, unless you're bald, I'll grab the back of your hair and I'll just look at you as I pull your jaw away from your head, and I want you to cry and scream, and I want you to look directly into my fucking eyes while I do it. So make sure you subscribe. And find me on Instagram at Peter_Feliciano. Find me on TikTok at CONSERVATISH. Find me on Patreon and on Venmo, Peter-Feliciano. And I love you very much. And kisses.